All right, everybody, we are back more Peaky Blinders, and last episode was heavy. We did actually end up losing another Shelby, and this time we lost Ruby Shelby. And let me tell you, I did not expect that. I feel like with this show, you can never really pin down who exactly is going to die and when. And you know, I knew something bad was going to happen, but I didn't think that they would go to that extent. It just shows how serious the season is, and exactly no one is safe when it comes to who lives and who dies. And this puts a very, very clear note in our heads for the future of what possibilities might hold for any of the characters. You just don't know. Of course, we did have a big episode for Ada as well. She's playing the boss role while Tommy is figuring things out with his wife, and also about Ruby. And honestly, she held herself pretty well. I'm very proud of Ada. She's growing up magnificently. I don't think she was ever this super coddled child or anything like that, but it's very clear that she did mature, because she did feel like she had to replace Polly, or had to live up with what Polly brought to the Shelby family. So I am glad that she is taking the initiative, and she is being so reliable. I'll say that. And instead of just being a background character like she has been for the past couple of seasons, because of course, Ada has always been hands off. She didn't really want anything to do directly with the company, and she didn't even want to be a Shelby for most of the series. And she's finally embraced it, and now she's doing what needs to be done. And of course, the latest Shelby news anyways, she met with Jack Nelson, Gina, Oswald Mosley, and Diana to call for a meeting on Tommy's behalf, since he wants to talk with all of them. And I'm really excited to see exactly where this goes, especially after the events that transpired in episode 3. I wonder if Tommy is going to attempt to renegotiate some type of deal, or if this is going to continue as normal, like if business is going to continue as normal so that he doesn't be seen as weak. But there's a lot on the table right now for Tommy in particular. But of course, we do know that Esme is back. I'm curious to know that if Esme is back permanently, or now that Ruby, can't be saved, if she's no longer in the picture, or if Tommy's no longer want to have Esme alongside him, since of course there's a reason to pay her now, unless this motivates Tommy to find the woman who cursed him even more. Then of course Esme's going to be around much longer. But we have, including this episode, we have 3 episodes left, and I still don't see exactly how we can wrap everything up, but I'm going to believe. I'm hoping for a very satisfying ending, but let's not worry about the ending for now. Let's just continue with the story as normal. By the way, I have gotten a lot of your requests. I meant to address this last video, but it completely just didn't cross my mind. I forgot. But I have been looking at a lot of your shows. I have recorded many one-episoders. So a lot of y'all want Breaking Bad. I haven't started it yet. I plan on starting it after Peaky Blinders, because Breaking Bad's a pretty long commitment, it looks like. Yeah, I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you. So yes, I am looking at it. There are a couple anime, thank God. I couldn't believe that you guys liked anime as well. So if that's something more that you want to get from me, I will watch that. But anyways, Peaky Blinders, zoning back in. I don't really have anything more to say, so I feel like we should just dive right into episode 4. Looks like it's called Sapphire. So of course we're going to stay on the topic of the cursed sapphire that Tommy thought he got rid of, but apparently not, even after all these years, even though it's been passed down twice. Well, technically 3 times. He still hasn't escaped it. But anyways, let's get started. Let's do this. All right, for the Patreon people, we are going to get started in 3, 2, 1. Well, so many times Tommy has said, they won't let me pass and all this stuff. And now it ends with Tommy, it feels like. I'm curious to see exactly where we're going to go from here when it comes to who all gets involved. Will this actually... is he actually going to tell people, hopefully well before this happens? I don't know. it's just like, I feel bad for Lizzie still, just because, she just lost her daughter. She's about to lose her husband, and she doesn't even know. Is he going to tell Lizzie? One day, obviously he has a year to 18 months to tell her this news, but is this going to be enough time for any of them to make arrangements? Is Tommy going to be able to finish everything that he needs to do? There's a lot riding on this now, because now he is given a hard clock to follow. There isn't a pause button on this. This is getting progressively worse, and I don't know exactly. This doesn't seem like the show to just find a way out of. Like, once they say something is going to happen, something is going to happen, and it's so weird to think about, but I don't see this ending any other way than Tommy's death. I don't see this ending in any other way aside from maybe he and Michael coming to an agreement. I don't know. This episode has been gloomy. Like, coming into this season, I knew it was going to have a different feel to it. I knew it wasn't going to be, lighthearted, or it wasn't going to pull its punches, or it wasn't going to take any prisoners. But, even still, I found myself, and I still do find myself, trying to wrap my mind around everything that's actually happening. Like, I said this at the beginning of the episode, and I said it, at the beginning of the season, but, now we're finally getting we're finally understanding and seeing, even when it comes to Tommy isn't invincible, and he finally recognizes that. And Lizzie being Lizzie, I feel like hopefully, I think deep down she understands that there is something, deeply wrong with Tommy. His health is declining, and she is just hopefully, I feel like she's just waiting for for Tommy to come to her. Lizzie has been trying to not to pry. She's been overly patient, in my opinion. You guys might think something different, but I feel like Lizzie has been patient, and she's been trying to stay composed. I mean, she just lost her daughter, and she's still trying her best to stick by Tommy and be there. But of course, she can only push so hard, and Tommy has to put in the work. He has to be the one to hold out his hand and be like, hey, I love you. This is what's going on with me. Let's start making arrangements. Let's start talking about the future, possibly without me. They spoke about this briefly. I think it was, I think it was last season, where Lizzie says, once you are gone, I need to make sure that there is something left. So I feel like all the wives of the Shelby men have to come to terms with their husbands might not be around forever. And of course, Tommy isn't an exception to any of this. There are things that even Tommy is susceptible to, especially with this sickness and the tumor just growing and growing. No, I don't think that Lizzie thinks that he's on a very tight clock, as we now know he is. But I do think that she is to some level prepared for, Tommy's likelihood of dying. I can't figure out another way to say it, but this has been a ride. I wonder, with only 2 episodes left, episodes 5 and 6, how far are we really going to get? That's even throughout the episode, that's what I'm trying to estimate. That's what I'm trying to figure out exactly. Where are we going? What's our endpoint? How far is Tommy going to progress? Is it going to be, this point where Tommy realizes that he can't do everything? That, even he has his limits, and his limits aren't what he originally thought they were. But, with this whole sickness overcoming him, now more than ever, I feel like he has to reevaluate his plans, reevaluate all the things that he said he was going to do. And I'm hoping this works out up to his plans for at least his plans for Mosley. But all I can think about is if it's going to be enough. Is this going to work out the way that we hoped, the way that he hoped, the way that his wife Lizzie hoped? There's so much writing. There's so many people writing on this being the end, and none of us, I don't think any of us can see the end, realistically speaking. You know, I can't see this going the way that Tommy wants, or the way that honestly any of them want. But you know, of course we won't know until the end, so I guess let's not ponder on it too much. If you guys want to watch full-length episodes, other different TV shows or movies or anime that we're watching, check out the Patreon, check out the website Ezret.tv. That's where you can see literally every single show that we plan on watching in the future, that we're currently watching or already have watched. So thank you guys for all of your requests, your recommendations. Thank you for tuning in as always. It has been an amazing ride, but it's not over yet, of course, so this isn't a goodbye for me just yet. But anyways, have a good rest of the day/night, and I will see you in the next one. Subscribe.